So for a lot of you guys, there was a few complaints in the Star Wars Battlefront beta. Primarily this was things such as the rebels never win, and that the Jedi and the Sith are too underpowered. For one, after a few days of the beta being out, we saw that the rebels started to win more and more once people got used to the playstyle of how to play the rebels. However, since the Jedi and the Sith icons were a lot rarer to pick up, so you guys didn't get as much playtime with them, people tended to not do as well as you would initially expect. So in the movies, the Jedi and the Sith are the penultimate warriors of the battlefield, the most powerful by far compared to all of the other classes that are available to the player. You can't really play the Jedi and Sith in the same style you would see in the movies. There's a huge misconception that they're underpowered in this game, and I believe that they can be super good if you play them in the right way. So first up, we'll have a look at what makes a bad Force user. People who watch the movies expect the game to be like that, so they expect everybody to be kind of standing around, not really focusing their fire on the Jedi and Sith. But since a lot of you guys know, you kind of want to shoot the Jedi and the Sith, you want to shoot Luke and Vader if you do see them. So you can't really expect people to give you the 1v1 fight that you're looking for. As you can see here, I thought this looked really cool. It was kind of like a movie style scene. I'm waiting for Luke to come towards me as Vader. And then this guy goes ahead and shoots me before I can even start a fight. That'll happen a lot to you guys, so you really have to pay attention to your positioning on the map. A lot of you guys that do complain, I know, are very prone to running directly towards enemies. And a map like Hoth, where there's lots of trenches and lots of cover to use, running straight across the top of the trenches on an open field is going to lead to you getting killed pretty quickly as a Jedi. A lot of people, I think the reason why a lot of you guys run straight towards people might be a misconception in that you think the Jedi are obviously going to be super OP when you get close to people, but also there's a misconception that the timer is ticking down and that gives a sense of urgency. Like I mentioned, Hoth is a very large map with very open parts to it, so positioning is key in this. The best way for me to play on Hoth was to play it like you would with any other trooper, so you're not going to go ahead and put yourself in the middle of an open platform with everybody able to see you. You're going to use the trenches and you're going to use the cover, and the third person view for the Jedi is perfect for this. You can hide behind rocks in all the terrain, you can use the trenches, and you can also use your jump ability to get over terrain a lot faster than most of the people would be able to. So if you guys use all these to your advantage, you'll find that you do pick up kills a lot quicker than just trying to, say, run straight towards people, because once you do slaughter a group of people, they're all going to know where you are on the map. So one thing you might want to try and do is to reposition, move somewhere else, and then hopefully you'll be able to pick up a lot more kills. Another point that people made was that the Jedi didn't seem to be balanced comparatively speaking to each other. For example, Luke and Vader. I do agree with this. I think that Luke is like 10 times better than Vader is on the battlefield. The primary reasons for this are his skill set. He has a force push, which is an AoE attack, so that'll kill anybody that's caught in the blast of it. And he also has a dash attack, which slices through anybody that he hits. Both of these abilities allow you to chain and kill multiple people at once, compared to Vader, where he throws his lightsaber, which can cut down multiple people, or uses a force choke on just one person. For me, this reason alone makes Luke a much better Jedi to play than Vader. You can maneuver him around a lot quicker, and obviously the opportunity to kill big clumps of enemies is a lot easier. All Vader can do really when he's at range from enemies is throw his lightsaber and hope that you manage to hit them. If you jump with Vader, he just does this kind of glide, so you can't force choke people when you've jumped. So for Luke, who can jump in the air, use force push, and use his dash, this makes him a lot better on the battlefield. Another key point for Luke as well is his maneuverability. He seems to run at a bit of a faster pace than Vader, and he also seems to have a lot more maneuverability because of his dash attack. If you find that you've got pinned in a big open area, you can always just dash back to some cover, or to try and get away from people. It's a lot easier to survive with Luke, I think. Another key point is knowing when to use the abilities. Should you throw your lightsaber at one guy, or should you just block all of his shots and walk up to him? Have him kill himself or use the force choke on him and save that lightsaber throw for a group of enemies that you might need to take out.
Traitors will pay the price.
And for Luke, it's using the dash attack. You need to know when to use it. Is dashing through this one or two guys going to leave you out in the middle of nowhere with a lot of other people? Depending on where you dash, say if you dash into one enemy but he has teammates all around him, they're all going to be on either side of you, which is a quick way to die as a Jedi. To defeat Jedi, it's quite easy. You can use things like the ATST. That's unbelievably good at killing Jedi. They can't really damage you, and if they do go to try and kill you, they'll often end up at your feet, and it deals around like 300 points of damage by stepping on them. I know myself, I've died a lot trying to kill the ATST with Luke. Another thing is, if a Jedi's running straight towards you, you can always jetpack away from them and just keep shooting at them. And then when your team notice them, if they're getting fired at from multiple sides, they can't block the bullets. The only time you ever see a Jedi really succeed is when all the enemies are firing at him from directly in front. So positioning is really key to doing well with the Jedi and Sith. So for you guys, that's something I'd concentrate on. I'd make sure you know where you're positioned, as well as in the fights between Jedis. If you hear that Vader spawns in and you're playing as Luke, if you go rushing to his location, there's bound to be a lot of stormtroopers around there that will all start shooting at you, and if they're shooting at you from everywhere, you're going to find it very hard to have a fight with Vader. So I'll have moments where I've started to attack Vader and I've realised that there's a lot of stormtroopers around me, so I'll bait him and drag him back through to my side of the map, where there's a lot more of my team. And I know that kind of sucks because you do really want to have a 1v1, which is why I'm really looking forward to the Jedi and hero fights in this game. So that's purely it for the best tips I'd have to say from the beta that I've experienced in how to dominate with the Jedi and Sith. So just run through that again. You want to make sure that you position yourself well, knowing where the enemies are and trying to make sure that you don't get surrounded. And you want to make sure that you use abilities at the right times, using those dashes and those lightsaber throws. So hopefully you guys have found this video useful. If you have, then I'd appreciate if you guys could give it a like and subscribe if you want to see more videos from me. Thanks a lot for watching, guys, and I'll see you guys next time.
Stay focused. Rebels heading into this area.
You have not won. Not yet. Every traitor's fate